West Virginia football picked up not one, not two, but three commitments just yesterday as we provide a recruiting update here on this edition of WVU News Daily, plus talk about an honor for Ren Baker and more. Let's get into it. What's going on, Mountaineer Nation? Welcome back into the Country Roads webcast. We're providing you West Virginia sports content from Mountaineer fans for Mountaineer fans. Here today for our June 3rd edition of WVU News Daily as we continue to keep you up to date with everything going on throughout the Mountaineer Nation sports world. Today, we're talking WVU football recruiting a good bit. I put out a video yesterday on the channel of a couple commits West Virginia brought in, one in the 2027 class and then one already in the 2028 class. And then lo and behold, last night they brought in another. So not two, but three commits in 24 hours for the Mountaineers. We'll talk about those here, especially the latest one. If you want more info on the first two, you can check out the video I dropped yesterday. We will reference them, though, as well. Then we got to talk a little bit about Ren Baker receiving an honor, rightfully so. You guys have heard me sing his praises plenty of times here on the program with all he's done for the athletics departments since he came to West Virginia. So excited to see him honored. And then, of course, there's a restaurant now that's partnering with the university as well. It's going to create a new show that we can all watch here in the fall. So, some really good things here going on that's going to help with revenue, that's going to help with exposure. All of that always helps with the athletic programs, right? So excited to see that. So with all that to discuss and no further ado, let's dive right in. Let's lead off with the commitments West Virginia picked up yesterday. Like I said, if you want more info on these guys, be sure to check that out. And definitely check out the video I dropped yesterday for the highlights of this young man, Brian Duncan Jr. Listed as a running back, played a lot of slot in the highlights. He was recruited by Logan Bradley, could be used as a slot at West Virginia, could be used in the backfield, could be used on special teams. He has explosive speed that you can use all over, coming from Cairo, Georgia there, as you see on the Rivals profile. And he rates as a top 50 running back in the nation according to Rivals with an 88 grade, and a top 75 player in the state of Georgia, which produces some really good football players. And then here is his profile on 247, where he's rated very similarly. Actually rated an 87 grade here on 247 with a 3-star. And they list him as an athlete, a top 60 athlete in the entire class, though, and also have him very well within the top 100 players in the state of Georgia. So you guys know I was excited about this pickup yesterday, still excited about it today. Like I said, check out the video I did on him yesterday, check out some of his highlights. But he also wasn't the only commit that video was about, as the Mountaineers went ahead and got a jump start on the 2028 class yesterday, getting their first verbal commitment in that class. And this one's a linebacker that's going to end up pretty highly rated in that class when it's all said and done, in Brandon Wills Dixon out of Maryland, St. Francis Academy there. And you see he is rated pretty highly on Rivals already, especially to be a 2028 recruit and have a rating says a lot, but to be rated a top 30 linebacker and a top 15 player in the state is pretty impressive. So I suspect that Brandon Wills Dixon could be someone that ends up maybe as a 4-star recruit when it's all said and done. So there's the small but now started list of 2028 verbal commits with Brandon Wills Dixon. In tow is the first one there on that side of things, so he'll be going into his junior year of high school. But the 2027 WVU football commitment list is now up to 14 names with the addition of the running back we just talked about and offensive lineman Ethan Lawson, who West Virginia beat out Virginia Tech among some other programs for. And check out this commitment video he dropped yesterday. This is awesome.
What's up, everybody? I'm here to
Awesome when you consider the fact that it's now back-to-back seasons. West Virginia's had an offensive line recruit commit while burning a couch. Kevin Brown last year, now Ethan Lawson this year, probably ingratiating himself as a fan favorite already with that video. But here is a look at his profiles. If that video didn't do it for you, how about the size he'll be bringing in as a true freshman? 6'6", 310 already from Rye Cove High School there in Duffield, Virginia. On 3 in Rivals, rating him as a top 20 player in the state of Virginia, a top 70 offensive lineman in the class, and a 3-star 87 grade there. Whereas 247 Sports rates him a top 40 interior offensive lineman in the 2027 class. That's impressive. And a top 13 player in the state of Virginia, 88 grade there on 247 Sports. Still a 3-star in that capacity. But a pretty impressive offer list, as you see here on the screen. Duke, Louisville, Rutgers, Syracuse, Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, among some others there. I think Virginia Tech and West Virginia is kind of who this one came down to. Rick Trickett recruiting him, and he lands a really good offensive lineman here in Ethan Lawson, which, as I stated, brings the 2027 class now to 14 verbal commitments. A lot of these have been very impressive. The two latest ones here, Brian Duncan, who came in yesterday, and Ethan Lawson, who came in late last night as a verbal commitment as well. Really excited about the way this 2027 class is shaping up, and excited to bring that WVU football recruiting update here on WVU News Daily. With that, let's move on to this, because I think this is pretty interesting. You guys remember the GOAT Pub. It was associated with Country Roads Trust. We know that's gone by the wayside. But how about WVU Athletics having a partnership now with the GOAT WV Pub? It is now the official sports pub of WVU Athletics. You see WVU Sports putting out on social media. And it's going to be home to the new Gold and Blue NIL show, which will debut this August. More on that momentarily. You see the graphic there that they put out announcing this. And they put out a press release as well, which we'll dive into now. And I will cite this in the video description if you guys want to check it out for yourself. But you can see here that West Virginia Athletics and Mountaineer Sports Properties announced a 5-year partnership extension with the GOAT WV Pub that includes the creation of a new Gold and Blue NIL show. The GOAT WV Pub will serve as the host location for this show, which will debut in August and run throughout the Mountaineer Athletics season. Pretty cool stuff here, because the monthly Gold and Blue NIL show will provide NIL opportunities for student athletes from across the athletic department to engage with the WVU fan base off the field. And the live show will be open to the public there at the pub, of course, but you can also catch it when it re-airs on WVUsports.com and the WVU Sports mobile app. So not only is this good for exposure, good for having another partnership, for WVU, but also really good for the fans to get more access to student athletes from multiple West Virginia sports programs and get to hear from them. So good stuff here. Another good partnership for WVU. And then just lastly, seems fitting we wrap it up by shouting out Ren Baker, who was named one of the top athletic directors in America. Of course he was, by Silver Wave Media. You see WVU Sports putting that out on social media. You see the graphic there congratulating Ren Baker, who deserves all the credit, deserves the hats off, the hat tip, whatever you want to call it. Congratulations to Ren Baker indeed, named by Silver Waves Media as one of the top athletic directors in America, and I couldn't agree more. But with that, we will wrap up another edition of WVU News Daily here for June 3rd. Heavy WVU football recruiting episode. We'll talk some more baseball here towards the end of this week as we get set to preview that Super Regional in Morgantown with Cal Poly coming to town and a spot in the College World Series on the line. We'll talk about that in the latter editions this week. Appreciate you guys that continue to tune in. Be sure you subscribe here to the channel if you haven't already. That way you get these videos into your feed every Monday through Friday as we keep you up to date with everything going on in the WVU sports world. That helps out, and you can also help out just with the thumbs up button before you leave the video. Giving the video a like helps it hit the YouTube algorithm and find other Mountaineer fans like you and me. And then, of course, I always love hearing your all's opinions as well. Drop those in the comment section, whether it's on anything we discussed here in this episode or just anything you want to chat Mountaineers about. Always enjoy doing that with you guys, and those interactions help me as I continue to grow the CRW community throughout Mountaineer Nation. Having said that, as always, I'm Jordan Cruz, and until next time, let's go Mountaineers.